Welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen, to another great edition of Inside the Huddle. I am your host, as always, Lucas Hill. We have a lot to talk about today. Senior Bowl Day 1 is complete. We'll go into that one. Got a lot of risers and fallers after Day 1, but we'll see how the end of the week goes. We had a great showing today. We got an HBCU star that could be one of the best offensive linemen going into this draft. And I am really excited to go into talk about that. Plus, got to talk a good bit about who rose, who's fallen as we get closer and closer and closer to the 2025 NFL draft. What are we going to expect throughout practice? But before we begin, guys, make sure you do me a favor wherever you're watching, whether it be on Instagram, YouTube, or, of course, our good friends on X, where we are very, very popular. Make sure that you leave a like. Make sure that you repost to your friends. Also, make sure that you are following me at Lucas_Hill23 on X. If you're watching us on Instagram, make sure you follow us at Lucas_Hill_17 or follow us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and download and follow us as we take you inside the huddle. So overall, we had a great day at the Senior Bowl, and it was a great introduction. I just got there for the American practices. I know I missed a good bit of national, but I heard some great things that happened throughout the day, and I am really excited to dive deep into it. There's no one and done prospect right now. Multiple guys had impressive first days. No one really had a wrap it up good day, though. And so that's the biggest thing that we need to look at right now, is that who is going to have a day? Who are we going to see tomorrow that could have this right now? And I'm really intrigued to see, because we're getting very close to the NFL draft, of course, and we have a lot to look forward to as we dive closer into that. But overall, let's kind of go into a little bit of what we saw during day 1 right now. All right. So let's talk about it right now. Look, Walter Nolan, make no mistake about it, is a man amongst boys. So when I look overall at the first day, I was really impressed with what I saw. The defensive line route is as advertised because of how deep it is, especially in the SEC. You know, it's so impressive seeing guys like Kyle Kennard and TJ Sanders and Deion Walker, Walter Nolan, Shamar Stewart. All of these guys that really flashed out. You know, looking at the offensive line, though, that was the biggest surprise. I think arguably with what you saw from Carson Bent, going to be one of those offensive linemen that's going to get underrated. But a performance like this is going to boost his draft stock from maybe being a 7th rounder, maybe an undrafted free agent, to maybe increasing him into being a day 2 selection, which will definitely intrigue a lot of teams. And I think that you can plug in a guy that's aggressive going in one-on-ones. He was aggressive throughout today. He had a great showing today, and it was impressive to see the type of athlete he was and what he's about to get shown throughout the rest of this week. So we're really excited to see what he has to offer throughout the rest of this year, or the rest of the seat or the rest of the weekend. I'm really, really excited to look at him from a heads up for the rest of this week. But I did go today for the very first practice. Extremely awesome getting to see a lot of the guys that represented the SEC amongst others. And so we're really, really excited for what's to come as we get closer to the actual game. There's going to be a lot of dudes that you're going to be looking forward to this whole week that is going to make a difference in their draft stock. All right. So let's get into the linemen, both defensive and offensive linemen. Look, let's just be honest with each other. This was not a typical room of what you saw. I mean, when Jim Nagy came in and got what just goes to show you the testament of what he's been able to do. By the way, sorry about the camera and sorry about the way that it is, how kind of laggy it is. It's I'm in a hotel right now, but it's so impressive to me just with what's coming from these small schools. You look at what's in the East-West Shrine Bowl. Thomas Perry's having a great week. You look at what's going on right now. Alabama A&M's showing out. You got William and Mary showing out. Jackson Slater from Sac State, who consistently won while seeing reps at center and guard. Carson Vincent off the edge going up against SEC dudes. Had a great day. Gray Zabel from NDSU. Jump inside, looks natural at the guard position. I mean, it's perfect. So it was a great start to show, and we are really, really excited to see this. So this weekend as well is going to be the weekend where we see the third quarterback who's going to get drafted so far in the NFL. Jackson Dart really stood out for the first day. Took a lot of deep shots down the field. Did really, really well throwing the football. Riley Leonard showed out. There really wasn't a quarterback to me, though, that kind of stood out other than with what Dylan Gabriel did, honestly. Dylan Gabriel did well, but there's no real separation between the quarterbacks. So this is going to be a pivotal period for all of the quarterbacks that are invited, widely underrated right now. I know I feel like it's a disgrace that Seth Hennigan is not getting his flowers for what he did whenever he was at Memphis. Because look, Hennigan is a great quarterback. Make no mistake about it. Because I think that he is going to do a wonder. But the problem with Hennigan is that we just don't know with what to expect from him. But Hennigan didn't get a whole lot of reps. But dude, my video is struggling right now. But I know that there is still a lot that we need to look out for going into tomorrow. There's still a lot of talent. Make no mistake about it. We're looking at All right, let's continue on. Um, so when you look overall with I feel like the Senior Bowl in recent memory has been more of to benefit these smaller schools like an NDSU, helping these athletes that have gone widely underrated. They've gone under the radar are all season long in the FCS or wherever else they are. And this is just a perfect opportunity for them. Look, Gray Zabel had a really good showing today going up against big boys from the interior. You know, it was impressive. I mean, he's going up against dudes from Virginia Tech. He's going up against a lot of really aggressive dudes. And he's winning a good bit of his battles. It was extremely impressive playing the guard and the center position. You know, he potentially could be a top 50 draft pick. And I'm really intrigued to see where he does land near the end. It's going to be really, really interesting to see. He played a good bit of tackle, and his best position right now, probably the center position. By the way, center during the national practice or during the American struggle. It was rough. Let's just be honest. But overall, I will have to say the offensive line showed out. The offensive line came out of nowhere, absolutely dominated. They had some really, really good showings. And there's so much more that we're going to expect down the stretch throughout the rest of this week. Look, I think the last rep basically solidified where Carson Vincent is ever since we're talking about offensive linemen. I mean, look at what he does going up against Shamar Stewart. It's impressive. This is for 25 people, by the way. Get him out of there. Look, that's a man right there. So I talked to my good buddy Larry from quarterback country. And I was like, dude, what was going on with Jalen Milroe today? Jalen Milroe really struggled today throwing the football. I mean, he just looked rattled trying to throw. I mean, there was a period in time where he threw 8 freaking footballs in basically skipping off the ground, or he checked them down. And it got to the point where in 7-on-7, he was just doing checkdowns. That's really what it was. And it just made not a whole lot of sense, to be honest with you, but I guess it was just because of how rattled he was throughout the week and just the amount of pressure that he has. But look, we don't know, bro. But 2 first-round draft picks. You had on the defensive line, you've got 3 potential first-round draft picks: Walter Nolan and T.J. Sanders and Kyle Kennard. Kennard, to me, is one of those once-in-a-generation type of edge rushers that you don't get to see now and then. I mean, Kennard is just a man. Standing 6'5", 250. Or excuse me, he said he told me earlier today that he weighed in at 248. But I mean, the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, first team All SEC, and a Nagurski Award winner. You know, having to transfer from Georgia Tech and doing what he did this past year, it was impressive. Make no mistake about it. I think that this guy is going to be a once-in-a-generation type of talent. And I think the more that he continues to improve, the more that you're going to see this dude's draft stock continue to rise. This was a huge get for Jim Nagy and company. I think Kennard's going to show out throughout the rest of this week and continue to have that draft stock risen. So when we talk about the rest of the season, all right, look, do we really know what to expect from the rest of this year? I mean, not really, but overall, this was a solid day. Day one. Had some Kim Jackson, 6'6" and 6'7", 340 plus pounds. Deon Walker looked more menacing to me, at least. Deon just didn't have that much body fat on him, too. And I think that was what's so impressive about him, and is that his ability to bend the corner and to really play at a high level is impressive. And it's going to continue to help him down the stretch. And I'm really, really stoked to see what he has to offer at the next level and seeing what many teams are going to do with him. Are they going to put him at a nose? Are they going to line him up in a 3-tech? I mean, what are you going to do to try to man up against this guy? So looking at some other guys, RJ Oben had a pretty consistent day. Looking at him throughout the one-on-ones, had his wins, had his losses. To me, Shamar Stewart needed more consistency. I thought that, I think drill-wise, that really all didn't matter, to be honest with you. But when you look at what they did during one-on-ones and pass pro and stuff, I mean, it was really good. Really, really interesting. Mike Green had a great showing in wins. He added a bit of weight over the offseason, but he handled it really, really well. Like, it was impressive seeing what he was able to do when he added about 5 or 10 more pounds to his body. But you could still see the same speed that he showcased while he was at Marshall. And he was able to win his one-on-one battles just by a couple of dip rips. Saw a bit of speed to power as well. So we'll get up on the big board and we're going to go break it all down next week or whenever we get the film back from the Senior Bowl. So overall, look. So I got this. Overall, it was a disappointing day of practice. There wasn't a lot of energy or intensity, which isn't an excellent sign for the coming week. Typically, the first day sets the tone for the week. However, the American team may have saved things by ending the first day with some of the best reps, which ended with Carson Vincent, Stonewall, and Shamar Stewart to get the day on defense. But, I mean, I wouldn't say that that's a bad thing. But overall, I don't think it was that bad, to be honest with you. I had fun. I had a lot of fun being able to observe from here, just watching the one-on-one battles, and it was really, really good. On the national level, bro, like, there's so much talent across the board when you look at these teams. And there's so much that you're going to be able to expect down the stretch. But I will say, so should I be worried, though, about what to expect from the rest of this week? I wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't. But I don't know, man. I mean, we'll just have to see. We will just have to see. I'll tell you this too, Jalen Noel, sharp route. Yeah, the receiving room. Tez Johnson's the best one out of all of them. Tez Johnson's a dog. I mean, he had a very, very good day of practice. He showed out. I'll say that. He really, really showed out today. So, guys, that's a little quick show for you guys. A little quick Senior Bowl Day show. We will be back tomorrow with more. I'll be back in the headquarters. Get you some more. We'll have some more guys come on and talk a lot of ball with us. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, a little inside the huddle for you. We'll see you all next time as we dive inside the huddle.